Hello, everybody. Finally, I'm getting on to show you the cards that we did at the Christmas card class on October 22nd and to do the drawing for the October challenge. I want to thank everybody who came out for the Christmas card class. I think we all had a good time. We had 2 door prize drawings, one for each time, and LaDonna and Bonnie each won a roll of Stampin' Up! Ribbon. So congratulations, girls. I'm going to go over with you the things that we made at the Christmas card class. This was our bottle tag, and I did write down the directions so I can share all that with you. You start with an 8.5 by 2.5 piece of cardstock, whatever color. I chose to use white. You score it at 3, and then the hole you punch in it is 1.5 circle punch. The first one that I did that I showed you there is a little too large. This smaller one will work more with like bottles of hand soap or anything, a bottle ketchup, whatever that you want to give. So this is the size hole rather than the one. You can use this on a wine bottle, hand soap, whatever you want to use. So the print, so that was scored at 3, and then the hole punch. Anybody who wants the details for these, I will type them up and share them with you if you want something specific. The printed piece of paper on here is 5 1/4 by 1 1/8. I used the snowflake paper, and then I used the snowman from Snowman Season, stamped that, and then punched it with the punched his arms. The words are also from that Snowman Season set, and I used Pacific Point as the background cardstock. But these make fancy up a bottle of hand soap or whatever you would like to give this Christmas. That's just an idea for you. So then we also made a card using Snowman Season. The base of this I used Real Red, and I apologize for the sticky notes, but I just can't remember all these details. So the snowman, the base is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 of Real Red. Your next layer, your actual card, is 8 by 5 1/4, scored and folded in the middle at 4. The printed paper is 5 by 2. And I used this from last year's. Then I used the oval framelits and cut the scalloped one for the background, then the solid one to stamp the snowman on. I used Real Red for the snowflakes and for the words. And so then you just put that down on your base instead of having the base like we normally do, the whole thing folding. So that makes it a little different. Here is the card that we completed in the class, and the cellophane's on there, so that makes it a little hard to look at. But there is the card, and it's fairly simple to make. Another card that we made was using the Dove of Hope. I used Pacific Point for the base on this one. It is 11 by 4 1/4. This section, and then the front, the white is 5 1/4 by 4. It is embossed with the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. The Dove of Hope, I used the new Balmy Blue glitter paper, and the words are from the Dove of Hope. I used stitched rectangles here and then stamped on the inside with Pacific Point. That card also is fairly simple. Okay, so the next one we did used the moose. And this card was a little different, special fold. And I will show you what you start out with that one. And okay, so for this one, you're going to start out with 2 of 5.5 by 4 1/4 of your background cardstock, which are on the top and the bottom. That's what this is. And then this white section is 10.5 by 4. It is scored at 5 1/4 and 2 5/8, and it's scored like a zigzag. Okay, and so then the printed paper here on top, that is from the texture. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's laying here, the Touches of Texture. It's the one that goes with that. That's where that is from. And this piece is 5 1/4 by 4. The rectangle layers then for the front are from stitched rectangles, although you wouldn't have to do that. You could just cut your rectangles or any shape as far as that goes. And that Early Espresso rectangle is 4 by 2 5/8. The white then that we stamped on is 3 5/8 by 2 1/8. We stamped the trees back here from the Moose stamp set, and that was using Mossy Meadow. I stamped it full strength and then stamped off to the side and up a little bit again as I was stamping off. Our moose is, we punched him actually just from Early Espresso. This one I stamped Early Espresso and then punched, but we didn't stamp it, we just punched it from Early Espresso. And then we stamped the scarf and cut it out fussy cut. This is the stitched circle with the words on Merry Christmas, and on that I used the Early Espresso ink. On the inside I used words from the Merry Moose stamp set. Now I wanted to show you how this whole thing goes together. The easiest way to do this is to first put adhesive on the back of your white, paste it down, put adhesive next on this top fold part, and then you'll line up your top exactly with the bottom, and voila, you're going to have that special fold. So that is how that one goes together. We also made a moose tag, and I used crumb cake for the base. I didn't exactly have the ribbon that I wanted to have, but I used some things I had. I cut this piece of crumb cake at 2 by 5 inches, and then I used the scallop tag topper punch to punch the top. This is from the layering ovals, and then the stitched oval framelit. Again, we stamped the tree, and the moose, we stamped him crumb cake on, or maybe soft suede on crumb cake, and then punched him out. He has popped up, and then the Merry Christmas and the gift, or the ornament, are in that stamp set, and then we put a small strip of the plaid paper on the bottom. This is our embossed card. I used soft suede as the base for this, 8.5 by 5.5. I have 2 pieces of 5 1/4 by 4 white, one for the inside, and I did stamp that with soft suede. I used 4 Onto Us, is the stamp set for the inside and also for the front. This is a stitch circle here on the front, and we gold embossed those words on the front. This white and the brushed metallic cardstock were on the front, and I ran them through together in the evergreen embossing folder. So these are the gilded gems, but that makes a very pretty card. This last card, Mary Newell designed this one. In fact, I don't even have this set. I used her set for this one. This is In the Pines. Again, we used that evergreen embossing folder on the shaded spruce. And this card was cut lengthwise, again, 4 1/4 by 11. The inside is very vanilla, and I stamped some of the trees in there. Those trees were stamped in shaded spruce. And the trees for that in the pines do have, they are a 2-step stamp. There is an outline section, and then you stamp the fill in. This one was cut out. We used crumb cake for these words. This strip across here of crumb cake was 4 1/4 by 2 1/8, and then the vanilla was 4 1/4 by not 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4 by 1 7/8 for that vanilla strip, and then the twine on there. So I want to thank Mary for helping me to get the designs for these cards. Okay, so I did get a couple more birthday cards, and I wanted to show you those. So all in total, I think I got about 20 or 20 or so, 21, 22, something like that of birthday cards, the most ever I've gotten. This was made by Lori. Lori has signed up as a demonstrator, but she did a gorgeous job with this, and the way she used those tags to make it look like a vase. And then this card also, and that one came from Deb. But I really appreciate all the birthday cards and recognitions from everyone this year. I just want to remind everyone I'm not having anything in person for November. I have some family members. I have not been around them. There are more people in the independent where I work that are coming down with COVID. I know a couple of friends. So it is on the upswing, and I don't want to take any chances by having someone come here and possibility of getting it. We never know who is positive and who may not be. They can be positive without symptoms, and no one I know, no one wants to share that disease with anyone else. We can get it anywhere. But I did decide it was best not to have an in-person class. I am going to draw the winner because my phone battery is about dead. I am going to have a November challenge. This is the drawing for the October challenge for that plaid paper. And I will try to get the November challenge announced here. And so I'm going to just pick one. And Elaine Sampson won the plaid paper. So there you see it. She has been lucky lately because she won one of the door prizes, the monthly door prizes recently. So the November challenge, I want you to make a thinking of you or a Mother's Day card. Leave the inside blank do not do not have multiple layers on this card. It needs to be something easy to mail, and we're going to donate anyone who makes a card for this. It's going to be donated to the Sweet Grapes Ministries in Chambersburg. It's a ministry for people who have lost babies. So that is what I'm asking you to do. You can post that, but then I need you to either mail that to me or get it to me the next time you see me, so that I can give them. Jody Breckbill is collecting those, so we can donate those. So that is our November challenge. I'm gonna give a bottle of my favorite, the Tombow green and white glue. Not this one, obviously, because it is well used, but I will give a brand new bottle of glue to the winner of that one. I'll probably hop on here tomorrow with some announcements, because Stampin' Up! Announces theirs on Tuesday. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening and stay safe.